Why, hello there. Welcome to the Lake Hylia Cavern. This place is quite lengthy, but it can lead to some pretty cool rewards. We actually could have technically entered this cavern earlier, but I waited until now so that we could gather the Poe Souls as well. No use going through this whole cavern twice just to enter again, you know? As soon as you enter, you want to take out your lantern, which we will be using for the entirety of this cavern, so just get used to it. You may want to bring some lantern oil. Now, throughout this cavern, we will be getting more lantern oil in a sense, and we'll talk more about that here in just a moment. You want to use bombs to blow up all three of the boulders, then gather the goodies in each side. The one to the right contains bombs, which is good because we will be using a ton of bombs throughout this dungeon area. Cavern. To the north there is a red rupee which is worth 20 and is guarded by 3 keys. I recommend using the spin attack, which teaches them a lesson in short order. Once you're done there, you want to continue on to the next passage to venture deeper into the cavern. Now the whole place progresses this way, just like that, steadily getting a little harder and having bigger rupee rewards. Eventually it leads to a piece of heart and several Poe Souls, which we are now eligible to find. In the next area, you want to light the torch and then get an empty bottle. I still have a bottle filled with a fairy from the previous dungeon, so I'm going to use that one because fairies are kind of worthless at this point. Now throughout this little cavern, we will be finding several yellow Chus, which you can kill and gather their jelly and put them in your bottle and use them in place of lantern oil. Kind of creepy if you think about it, killing something, grinding it into slop, and then putting it in your lantern to burn it. I think Link has issues. Anyway, you want to be really careful every time you see a yellow Chu because their jelly is very precious. They are conveniently placed throughout this entire cavern so that you will have lantern oil in order to progress further in the dungeon. It's so dark in here you really can't see very well. You can like go around as a wolf and use your senses to see kind of, but it's like really awkward. You have like no line of sight and everything. So anyways, just use your lantern throughout the entire thing. So I will be pointing out the areas where there are yellow Chus, so just watch out for them. And just be emotionally prepared to fill up your bottles and such. The treasure chest in this area contains a red rupee, which is worth 20. Once you have that in hand, you want to continue on into the next passage. These torch slugs will fall from the ceiling, and as you get close, you can kill them with your sword and such, but they die with one hit with the bow. I find it fast to simply walk forward and Z-target each one, shooting them as I walk. In this next room, you want to light the torch and then transform into a wolf quickly before the imp Poe can attack you. Use your senses and fight the ghosty Chu out of it. Once you've weakened it, you want to finish it off and claim Poe Soul number 3. There are 3 total Poe Souls that are found within this cavern, and this is the first of the 3. We'll be gathering the other ones once we get there. You want to blow up the 2 passages that are found in this area. There are only 2 of them. I did not need to pull out that 3rd bomb. You want to head over into this little west alcove, and you will open the small chest to find a bundle of arrows. This is going to be cool because there's a lot of torch slugs and stuff in here, but it'll be necessary actually in the next room, as you'll see here in just a moment. You want to head into the next passageway, which is to the north, and you'll see that there's actually some abyss here or whatever. You don't want to fall down, because as you can imagine, that would really be lame to start this whole cavern all over again and be back at the beginning. It'd be quite frustrating. So we want to carefully go across the plank and kill the Tektites. Once again, a shield attack plus a jump attack or a spin attack will work the best. In the next area, we have a Beamos, which we haven't actually seen these guys since the Goron Mines, but they're defeated the same way. You want to whip out your hero's bow and then shoot at this orb-like eye with an arrow to do it in. You want to go light the torch and then blow up the boulders. There's a chest to the north which has a red rupee, which is worth 20. And as you probably come to realize, there is an abundance of rupees within this cavern, and we will not even be able to carry it all, as you'll quickly find out. So we'll just be like totally overflowing, and you can actually like enter this cavern again later, continue to get more of those rupees that you may have left behind, but it's not even really that worth it. I mean, you can get rupees easier in some other locations. You want to light both the torches in this next room, and then a chest will appear there in the middle. Now there are 2 yellow Chus that are found in this room, so you want to take them out slowly, one at a time. You want to use their Chu Jelly to fill up your lantern. They're placed here on purpose so that you can fill up your lantern. So I already have 1 bottle already filled up with Chu Jelly, so I'm going to kill this one and then fill up my bottle once again. You can also, when you're standing over the Chu Jelly itself, you can actually press your lantern button to swipe it, and then Link will actually swipe up the Chu Jelly that way. He'll do it directly. You don't actually have to put it in a bottle. So that might save you some time. Personally, I panic. I like to make sure that I'm doing it correctly, so I always use my bottle. But I guess that's a little extra step that's not really necessary. Anyway, when you light both the torches, this makes a large chest appear that contains an orange rupee, which is worth 100. As you can see, that's far from the only rupees left within this little dungeon area, and I'm already really close to my 600 rupee limit. If you do not have the big wallet yet, which allows you to carry up to 600 rupees, you want to go to Castletown sometime and give one of the golden bugs to Agatha in order to get one of these bigger rupee holders. The bombs, you want to bomb the boulders and then kill the Tektites to open this small chest that contains a red rupee, which is worth 20. Continue on to the western passageway, which leads to a room with a Dodongo. Once again, another enemy we haven't seen since Goron Mines. To defeat them quickly, you want to Z-target them and shoot an arrow right into their mouth when they're like blowing in right before they breathe fire. This will actually defeat them instantaneously. You want to light the torch and then blow up the boulders and defeat the Tektites off to the north. The chest they are guarding contains bombs, which is nice because we were using a ton of them within this little cavern. Now if you've not gotten the Big Bomb bag upgrade from Izza's Rapid Ride in Upper Zora's River, you may want to check that out after this, because that'll let you carry 60 bombs and regular bombs in a bomb bag. To the west there is a light that will take you out of the cavern, but you will lose your progress thus far. I don't really see the purpose of that light, because if you really wanted to get out to the entrance, all you have to do is hop down one of the holes. Continue into the next passageway, and there's some more of these said holes that lead down to the abyss, so you want to be really careful not to fall down into them, because you'll lose all your progress thus far. In the next room, you'll come to a Beamos. You don't defeat it by simply shooting an arrow into its little orb eye thing, then light the torches and blow up all the boulders. So the alcove to the south has a ton of keys in it, which can be defeated easily using a spin attack. You want to open the chest to get a bundle of arrows, which will be useful here in just a moment. You want to open the chest to the north to get a purple rupee, which is worth 50. So this actually fits within my wallet right now, and like I say, I have the big wallet, so I can hold up to 600. But I'm really closely approaching my limit here, and so pretty soon here I'm going to be actually putting those rupees back in the chest because I can't hold them. Just kind of lame. What a waste. So in this next westernmost passage, you want to continue working your way deeper into the labyrinth, and there are a few torch slugs along the way, which is nice because it lights up the area and gives you pause so that you don't jump into the pits of death. Why are there pits of death? I don't know. Just work your way steadily forward, just shooting down the enemies. Just be really careful for the occasional keys, which are the real threat in my opinion. It's kind of nice because you shoot down these torch slugs and they actually burst with light when you shoot them, so it actually kind of helps you see your areas and everything. Be really careful not to get pushed into the abyss, because then you'll have to start your way all over again and you'll lose your progress. In this next room, you want to light the torch, transform into a wolf, and teach a lesson to the imp Poe who so arrogantly floats around. The nerve. After giving it some punishment, you want to finish it off to gather your 4th Poe Soul in total. This is the 2nd Poe Soul found in this cavern, and we have one more yet to grab. You want to transform back into your Hylian form and continue this familiar process of blowing up all the boulders. Kind of lame. I don't know, there's so many rupees within this dungeon. I don't know, unless you really like this sort of thing, traveling throughout this dungeon, I think it's a little excessive. It just goes on and on and on. I don't want to come back here, for sure. I think it's cool there's rupees in here, but I do not want to come back. So here I filled up my lantern with some yellow Chu Jelly I had, because I thought that one of these little alcoves had a yellow Chu, but that's actually in the next room. So anyway, you want to open the chest to the north and get a purple rupee, which I can't even carry now. We have so many rupees, oh my goodness. To the west, there are some Tektites guarding a chest full of bombs, which is helpful because we've been using a ton of bombs thus far. You want to continue on into the next passageway to eventually emerge into a room with 2 Dodongos this time. I'll defeat both of them and show you both of the methods you can use to defeat them. To attack their tail, you want to lure them into breathing fire at you. This will keep them in one spot while you circle around and attack their tail. You can also use moves like the backslice to make this a little bit easier, but either way, a few sword slashes will do them in. Alternatively, you can just shoot an arrow right into their mouth, and this will defeat them instantaneously, so that's pretty cool too. You want to blow up the boulders that are in this area and go to the north, where you'll find that yellow Chu I was talking about. You want to take advantage of this and fill your lantern if you haven't already. Like I said earlier, you can stand right over the Chu Jelly that is on the ground. You can press the lantern button itself to fill up your lantern directly, rather than filling up a bottle first. If your bottle's empty, fill it up with Chu Jelly as well. Next, you can open the chest they were guarding to find some seeds. Score! Kind of worthless to find seeds at this point in the game, since we will never use the slingshot ever again. Maybe it's kind of like a practical joke from the development team of this cavern. Hey, what's something totally lame we could put in the chest all the way down to at the bottom of this really lengthy cavern? Hey, how about some pumpkin seeds? And they all go... They share the joke around the entire office, and everybody has to wipe tears away from their eyes because they're laughing so hard. Yeah. Moving right along, immediately to the west is another room. There's not even a passageway connecting it. You just emerge right directly into this room. I'm going to blow up the boulders and open the chest to the west to find another orange rupee. Like I said, there's an overabundance of rupees found within this cavern, so you could technically come back here later in case you need more rupees. Because this cavern is so lengthy, I don't really think it's worth it, as there are many easier places where you can get rupees. Not saying that you're not up for the challenge, you can enter this cavern again if you'd like, but I just think it's a real pain in the butt. I'm going to continue on through the next passageway to the south, killing keys as you go. Just be really careful not to fall down into the abyss here, because this is the very last room. I actually did that the first time I came through here. I got knocked back by one of the keys and had to start all over again just to get this final Poe and heart piece. So with that, you want to continue on and enter into this room, and you'll see that there is a Poe here. So you want to light both the torches, and then this will cause a large chest to appear. You can deal with the Poe if you like first, or you can run around like a suicidal monkey, like me, and open the chest to find a piece of heart. If you've been following the walkthrough thus far, this should be your 20th piece of heart in total. Yippee! Now transform into a wolf, use your senses, and beat the unliving snot out of the Poe, then defeat it to get the final Poe Soul found within this cavern, which should be your 5th Poe Soul total. So that is the end of this cavern, and also the end of this video. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys back outside in Lake Hylia.